Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum. So now we are at the 4.3 inverse matrix where the second LO, the second learning objective is about computing inverse of a non-singular matrix. Okay, it just simply means finding the A inverse. Okay, di mana non-singular matrix ni bermaksud the determinant of the matrix A will not be zero. That's the meaning of non-singular, and we will find the inverse matrix of A by using elementary row operations, or in other words, the short form is ERO. Okay, so the ERO is a method, a different kind of method instead of using the inverse metric from my previous video. So this part will be about ERO only. Alright, this video is only about the elementary row operations in finding the A inverse or B inverse or C inverse, up to the questions. Alright, so now I'll just go through for the 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, I've provided you the answers in your notes as well. So here is just where I want to go for an overview sahaja. Okay, find the inverse of the matrix B 2 by 2 matrix by using the ERO methods. Okay, so now you have one thing that you have to know about ERO is this one. This is what we call as ERO method. Let me write down nicely. This is ERO methods. You must start, the first thing that you have to write, the first step is just writing in a bracket of B inverse. If you have matrix B, you use B. So matrix B with palangkan dengan identity matrix. That is the first thing that you should write it down. Okay, and then bila you dah tulis dalam bentuk B palang identity, and then at the end of the solution, you will be expecting, you must be expecting this one. The identity will be shifted to the left instead. Okay, daripada dia belah kanan, pada asalnya dia belah kanan, pada hujung jawapan kamu, dia akan bertukar. Identity pula berada di belah kiri, dan juga B inverse akan terlihat di belah kanan. That is what ERO method is all about. Okay, so B inverse, in order to find the B inverse using the ERO method, is first step you must write down B palang I. Okay, so this is how you write it. Okay, you just write down the 2 by 2 matrix here, the B matrix, and then you write down the identity matrix 2 by 2 matrix also. Alright, so now the second step is you will be solving the first you will be solving the first column. Di sini adalah di mana kamu mahu menjadikan dia kosong. Daripada dia nombor 2 di situ, you want to make them in becoming 0. Sebab apa? Sebab at the end of the solution, you want everything here to be identity. Your objective right now is to make identity matrix di belah kiri. Okay, bila you mahu identity di belah kiri, of course, you mesti aim untuk dapatkan sini kosong. Okay, and you do some operation. This operation I will explain later. Alright, and then untuk soalan ini memang sangat senang. So dia very short. Okay, after you have solved the first column, you have made this 0, and then you will see that, oh, yang ni dah kosong, so aku tak payahlah buat apa-apa. All I need to do is just go to the step 3. The elements on the diagonal line must be 1. So here must be 1, therefore you divide the first row by 3, you divide the second row by -12, until you will get 1, 1 at the diagonal matrix. At the diagonal line. That's your point. That's your objective. Alright? And at the end of the day, you will realize that, oh, I have found my B inverse. It is just on the right hand side here. Okay, just make sure you must write down the palang here. In the middle here, it must have a palang to differentiate. On the left is what, on the right is what. Alright? And at the end of the day, you must write down your conclusion saying that, oh, this is your answer. So that is a very, very easy kind of 2 by 2 using ERO. Now, I want to show you 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, look at the second example here. Find the inverse of P. Now it's about P matrix. Okay, by using ERO. Okay, so now one thing that you have to know, this is what we call as ERO method. In order to use ERO method, you must make sure soalan yang ditulis itu, the first step yang ditulis itu mestilah dalam bentuk P, the matrix itself, okay, matrix P palangkan dengan identity on the right hand side. Okay, that is the first step that you must write down. Itu adalah first step. Kalau kamu tak tulis yang ini untuk permulaan, you will get into trouble because you do not know where you want to go. So this starting point is very important. You must write down in a big bracket of the P9 elements here, palangkan dengan identity matrix, iaitu 3 by 3 matrix as well. Barulah seimbang. Alright, and then dekat sini you will see that my solution here, every step of the way here, I always write down the dotted line, the color red dotted line here. Right? You akan nampak macam, Miss, penting sangat ke nak kena buat dotted line ni? Yes, it is important for my all students. Alright? All of my students must write down this dotted line here. Okay? Because this dotted line will help you in doing the operations, will help you in operation plus and minus stuff. Okay, tapi sebelum you go to the plus minus thingy, I would like to explain something before you nak solve the plus minus operation. There is one thing that you can do here, which is, this is the kind of tips lah sebenarnya. This is a tips. Your objective is in getting the dotted line in becoming 1, 1, 1, right? So this is not 1. Initially, this is not 1. So a tips here is by, you can change the row, which means this second row becoming the first row. You interchanging the row so that you will get this part 1. Okay? So remember, the dotted line is where you want to make them into becoming 1, 1, 1. Remember, hujung sekali, you akan pastikan di belah kiri ni adalah your identity matrix. That is ERO actually. ERO is like, pada asalnya identity ni di belah kanan. And then at the end of the day, you akan perasan, oh, you dah solve, you dapat belah kiri adalah identity pula. So of course lah, your objective dekat sini, dotted line ni mesti jadi satu. Right? So bila you dah interchanging rows, so row 1 ni tak ada problem lah. Row 1 tak ada problem, tak payah kacau. Sekarang ni yang ada problem adalah the second row and the third row. That's why you are trying to get the new second row and the new third row. Yang saya panggil star ni adalah sebagai new. Maybe I should write it down. That star means it's a new row. Okay, and I denote it as R star. Okay, so you akan perasan step kedua adalah solving the first column. Okay, this is the first column, right? The first column is where you want to become this is 0 and 0. And so you do the operation plus and minus. Okay, and this is at your own risk lah. You kena kira hati-hati. And then second step, solve the second column. Bila sini dah jadi kosong, sini dah jadi kosong, second column, you akan bertemu dengan, oh, ini satu ni tak boleh, aku kena jadikan dia kosong. So I have to make sure it becoming 0. Bawah ni memang dah kosong, so settle, nothing to fix. Don't fix if you don't have to fix. So yang ini je, row 1 new je yang you perlu fix. The first row je yang you perlu fix. And so you fix it and you got this one. Wow, I got this one. I got 0, 0 already for the second column. Okay, second column dah settle. go to the third column. Third column, it must also be 0, 0 di situ. Tapi yang the second row je yang kamu fix. Yang kamu ubah. Jadi the second row je lah yang kamu tulis. Yang selebihnya tak payahlah sebab tak perlu tukar. And at the end of the day, you akan nampak, alamak, yang ni belum ngam lagi ni. Yang ni tak settle lagi. So, yang mana yang kena fix? Yang mana yang kena ubah? Yang mana yang kena ubah, bukan fix tau. Yang mana yang kena ubah iaitu the second row and the third row. So, you ubahlah the second row and the third row by having a negative in front. By having a negative. So that you will get eventually everything here is 1, 1, 1 at the diagonal line. Okay? Barulah you dapat jawapan P inverse di belah kanan. Therefore, you are happy to write down your inverse and you put a hashtag. Wow. Just like that. So you have the overview. I have explained to you an overview about 11 minutes right now. So